Dear students, today in this video we are going to see about the agriculture lesson of class 8 geography, the different types of farming. So now let us see the different types of farming, and before that we will see what are the necessary things on which this farming depends. Farming is practiced in various ways across the world depending upon some reasons or factors on which the farming depends on. The very important factor, first one, is the geographical condition of the area. See, when I say geographical condition of the area, it denotes about the soil, the topography, the land, whether it's a plain or a hilly area, and also about the temperature and also the rainfall of that area. So, geographical condition of the area is a very important factor for the crop, what type of crop can be grown, what agricultural activity can be taken in that area. It's based on the geographical conditions. And secondly, demand for the product. The crop which is cultivated should be in demand, then only they will get more profit. So demand for the product. Labor available in that area is also very important factor. They need people to work. So labor, wherever it is a labor intensified agriculture, they need people to work. And finally, that level of technology. So nowadays we are using different updated machines are there to plow the land, to sow the seeds, to harvest the crops. We are having so many different types of technical supports are there which is available. So based on these factors, farming practice will be differentiated in different areas. It will be in different ways. Coming to the classification of farming, based on the factors what we have seen above, the farming can be broadly classified into two categories, namely subsistence farming and commercial farming. It can be further classified as given in the flow chart. Let us see the flow chart now. Under the subsistence farming, you are having intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence. And primitive subsistence again can be subdivided into shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. The other classification of farming is commercial farming, which again can be subdivided into three as commercial grain farming, mixed farming, and plantation farming. First, let us see about the subsistence farming. Subsistence farming is a practice to meet the needs of the farmer's family. It is only for the own consumption. Low levels of technology and household labor are used to produce a small output. And subsistence farming can be further classified as intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence farming. In the intensive subsistence farming, the farmer cultivates a small plot of land using simple tools and with more labor. More than one crop is grown annually on the same plot as the climate is favorable and the soil is very fertile. So from the words intensive itself we can understand the land is put to maximum utilization in a year. Rice is the main crop which grows in this type of farming. Other crops include wheat, maize, pulses and oilseeds. Intensive subsistence agriculture is prevalent in the thickly populated areas of the monsoon regions of South, Southeast and East Asia. And we all know Asian countries are highly populated. So they have to have this type of intensive subsistence farming. Now let us see about the two subdivisions of primitive subsistence farming, which includes shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. What is shifting cultivation? Shifting cultivation is practiced in the thickly forested areas of Amazon basin, tropical Africa, parts of Southeast Asia and Northeast India. It receives heavy rainfall and this helps in the quick regeneration of vegetation. How this shifting cultivation is done? A plot of land is cleared by felling the trees and burning them. So they cut the trees and they burn that area. So that is called deforestation. So by deforesting the area, they make that land ready for cultivation. The ashes are then mixed with the soil and crops like maize, yam, potatoes and cassava are grown. After the soil loses its fertility, the land is abandoned and the cultivator moves to a new plot. So what they do after cultivating in that place for maybe 1 or 2 years, when the soil loses its fertility, when the production becomes less, they shift from that area to another area and there they again cut the trees, burn that area and allow the land to cool and then they do the agriculture again. So this we call it as slash and burn. Slash and burn or shifting agriculture. Shifting cultivation usually starts with cutting trees and a fire which clears a spot for crop production. In these cases, shifting cultivation is a cycle where farmer comes back to the original place after a couple of years or after a decade. They come back to that same place and they do again this deforestation. So here you can see the deforestation, how they do, and they burn that area, that is a slash and burn, and that fertile soil farming, and it becomes infertile soil, and let that land to regain the fertility again. So they go back to the previous area where they have done. So this is a cycle they used to do, slash and burn. That is the shifting cultivation. Now let us see about the nomadic herding. Nomadic herding is a practice in the semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia and some parts of India like Rajasthan and Jammu and Kashmir. What is meaning of arid? It's dry areas, semi-dry areas. In nomadic herding, herdsmen, the person who takes care of the cattle, herdsmen, move from place to place with their animals for fodder and water along a definite route. The nomads move from place to place due to the restraints of the climate and land. Sheep, camel, yak, and goats are most commonly reared by the nomads. These animals provide them milk, meat, wool, hides, and other products to the herders and their families. In the drier parts of Asia, especially the Southwest Asia, most rural people make a living by raising livestock. Many are nomads who move with their herds of animals over large territories, constantly seeking good supplies of grass and water. The people live simply and carry their tents and belongings with them. They rear animals such as goats, sheep, camels, and yaks. Next comes the commercial farming. Crops are grown and animals are reared for sale in the market, that is for commercial purpose. While in the subsistence farming, crops are grown mainly for the farmers' families' needs. The area cultivated and the amount of capital invested is large in the commercial farming. Most of the work is done by the machines in the commercial farming. And you can see the flow chart here which shows the subdivisions of commercial farming. The first one is commercial grain farming. In this, crops are grown for commercial purpose. Wheat and maize are common commercially grown grains. It is mostly practiced in the temperate grasslands of North America, Europe and Asia. These areas are sparsely populated with less population there and they are having large farms spreading over hundreds of hectares. Severe winters restrict the growing season and only a single crop is grown. This distinctive type of agriculture, known as commercial grain farming, was developed in USA. It is a type of agriculture that is largely dependent on mechanization, means the machines. It started with the invention of farm machinery in the early 20th century. The use of machineries allow farmers to cultivate grains on a large scale. Under the commercial farming, we are going to see the second category, that is the mixed farming. In mixed farming, the land is used for growing food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. So a farmer will be cultivating the crops and also taking care of the livestock, that is the cattle, and he can earn in both the ways. That is called mixed farming. It is practiced in Europe, Eastern USA, Argentina, Southeast Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. Mixed farming is the combining of two independent agricultural enterprises on the same farm. A typical case of mixed farming is the combination of crop enterprise with dairy farming, that is, crop cultivation with livestock farming. Mixed farming may be treated as a special case of diversified farming. This particular combination of enterprises support each other and add to the farmer's profitability. The cropping system comprises of one or more crops. Most farmers follow cropping patterns that involves a sequential cropping, mixed cropping, and a relay cropping. Here, just to know about these names is enough. And if you study about geography in your higher secondary, you will be learning more about these topics. Mixed cropping involves the simultaneous growing of two or more crops intermingled on the same land. So mixed cropping, double cropping you can call, okay. By having two crops in the same land, the profit of the farmer will be more. Finally, let us see about the plantation agriculture. Plantations are a type of commercial farming where single crop of tea, coffee, sugarcane, cashew, rubber, banana or cotton are grown. Large amount of labor and capital are required. You could have seen in the tea estates and all how number of people work to pluck the leaves from the tea bushes. Same way in the coffee estates also you need people to pluck the coffee berries from the plant. Same with the rubber trees. So all these are plantation crops and they need more laborers. And also the capital is required. Capital here denotes the money investment. The produce may be processed on the farm itself or in the nearby factories. If you have gone to any of the tea estates in southern part of India, you could have seen within the tea estates they have a processing unit. They process the tea leaves to a certain condition level and then only they sell it to the companies. The development of transport network is essential for such farming. Major plantations are found in the tropical regions of world, rubber in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, tea in India and Sri Lanka. So with this we come to the end of this video. Hope you understood. Thank you.